Welcome to a special edition of the YapCast, where we talk TF2 and you listen, maggots. I'm your host, Ellie. My pronouns are he, it, they. One cool fun fact about me is that I really like sharks. So the reason that I say today's episode is very, very special is because today we're doing a Q&A. Now, normally I would be yapping about TF2. However, I don't think that there is really anything to discuss TF2-wise for this month, so I figured that I would do a Q&A instead. So, by popular demand, these are some of the questions that I got. Obviously, I won't be answering all of them, but I will be answering the ones that I found the most interesting. So, to get things started, I did not have a script for these, I did not know what to say, so I'm just gonna freebie all of these answers. So the first question is, what made you a fan of Pokemon TF2 and the Amazing Digital Circus? So the first one, Pokemon. I actually got into Pokemon when I was about 5. It was our old neighbors that got us into it. Originally it was the Pokemon guards. And then when I was 10, I got my first Pokemon game, which was Pokemon White version. I'll go into that later because there was another question about that, if I recall correctly. But yeah, that's what got me into Pokemon. I had also previously been watching the anime. I believe I started with Sinnoh, and then because that was coming to a close and Unova was just starting, yeah. TF2, it was actually a Silent Man Joe video. Specifically the Fourth Wall cover, by, I think you pronounce his name as First Cons. I believe they're right. I believe that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if First Cons watches my videos, but in the act that he does, please tell me if I pronounced that right. But yeah, so that was the first actual TF2 video that I had seen in a good couple of years. I hadn't gotten into TF2 until, I believe, if I recall correctly, September of 2023. Yes, September of 2023. That was when I first got into TF2. And since then, I've been heavily involved in the TF2 community. Obviously, I think that's a little bit obvious with my, YouTube channel. As for the Amazing Digital Circus, I saw the pilot, and I was like, what the fuck is the Amazing Digital Circus? And I watched the pilot. I didn't think that I would really be into it. And then I heard Pomni's voice, and I'm like, wait a minute. I recognize that voice. And then I went back to I don't know if anybody knows the whole, Ina thing. I'm probably gonna show a picture of Ina on screen right now. But if anybody knows this character, GG, congrats. Yes, I absolutely love Ina, and I was like, wait a minute, their voices sound similar, and then I realized it's the same voice actor, and I'm like, holy! So, yeah, that's what ramped up my interest in the Amazing Digital Circus, and I was just hooked, and I'm still absolutely hooked. I love the series, I love what Gooseworks is doing, I absolutely love the Amazing Digital Circus. Yes, I was correct. What Pokemon games have you played? I started with Pokemon White version, and Pokemon Mystery version, Gates to Infinity. I have beaten Pokemon White version, I believe, 3 times over now, and Gates to Infinity, I believe I have beaten at least 10 or 11 times over. I know, I'm obsessed. But I have a lot of Pokemon games. I don't have them all written down, but the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, obviously I already listed 2 of them. I have Legends Arceus, Sword, I have X, if I recall correctly. I have Pokken Tournament. I have a demo on my Switch of one of the Mystery Dungeon games. I can't remember what it is. I have Pokemon Cafe Remix. I think that's all I can remember off the top of my head. I know that I have more. I know that I have way more than that. But that is all that I can remember off the top of my head. What is my favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon has always been Sableye. I've loved Sableye since I was a kid, and I still love Sableye to this day. However, I do also love Catherine and Gengar, So those are my two other favorites, other than Sableye. So those are my favorite Pokemon. I freaking love them. I think I collect a little bit too much Gengar stuff because, well, I have a literal plethora of just Gengar stuff. I'm not even joking. I love Gengar. The next question is, if you had to list your top 5 favorite games, what would they be, and why, if you would like to add on? So I think the first one should be a little bit obvious. TF2. I love TF2. It's my most favorite game. It's literally been there for me. The game's been there no matter what. When I was at my lowest points over the last couple of years, the last 2 years, the game's just, it's been there. I can't really put into words, but I'm not even joking. The entirety of the TF2 community has gotten me to stop me from ending basically everything. It's literally been there from when I was at my lowest. Just the entirety of the community, and I have to give a huge thank you to the entirety of the community. So thank you guys, seriously. It means a lot to me. Second most favorite game, Pokemon. Obviously, I have loved this game since I was a kid. I've been into the games for well over 15 years, 17 years now, going on 18. My third favorite game, Splatoon. I love Splatoon a lot. I fucking love the community, although yes, it does have its low points. It also has its high points, and I absolutely love it for that. I also love how most of the Splatoon community is LGBTQ+. I love how inclusive the game is. I love how inclusive the devs are. Obviously, we have 2 confirmed non-binary characters in the game, and I love the game for that. I love the representation. Fourth favorite game, probably Half-Life. I love Half-Life. It's a brilliant game. I love the storyline, although I haven't completed the game yet. I love it. I love it. And fifth and final, Portal. I love Portal. Obviously, again, with the storyline, I love the storyline. This goes for both Portal 1 and Portal 2. I just love both Portal games. They are bloody brilliant. I cannot put into words how much I love both Half-Life and Portal. I love them equally, but I had to put them on 2 separate tires. But yeah. What gave you the idea for your username, Shark? What gave me the idea for my username is I have an OC who is actually supposed to be the mascot of the channel. I don't think anybody knows this, but he is supposed to be the mascot of the channel. His name is Error. And he has a shark tail, and that's where I got the shark part of the name, and also because sharks are my favorite animal. So obviously that is why my username is Error Shark. If you were to live in any world, what would you pick? Do you mean video games? Because if video games, I would have to say the Sonic universe. I know people probably did not expect this, and I know everybody was probably expecting me to say TF2, but I would absolutely love to live in the Sonic universe. I'm not even joking. Oh my god, Green Hills. It looks so fun. I would kill to live in Green Hills. Oh my god. Please, somebody put me in Green Hills. And then, if you could add one thing to the TF2 canon, what would it be? If we're talking game-wise, one thing that I would add... Oh god. I know Valve probably doesn't want updates, and I want to say something other than updates, so I would probably have to go with more. I know Valve probably doesn't want to do updates, but I kind of have to say updates for this. But one thing that I would definitely add is more game modes. I feel like we need more variety. other than just obviously, casual and stuff like that. Like, well, I feel like we need like its own like respective like go-kart game. I know Team Fortress TF2 Classic has like I think it has its own go-karting. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I saw that correctly, I just saw the thumbnail of something. I don't really know. Somebody just correct. I think it's in there. Like, I feel like we 110% need that. Like, please. Oh my god, go-karting would be so cool. Like, imagine the ability to be able to customize your own go-kart, be able to zoom around on community maps of the go-kart game mode, and they're just being complete replicas of just straight up Mario Kart maps. Like, dude, I would love zooming around on a replica of Rainbow Road. Like, oh my god, that would be awesome. So, yeah, I think that's gonna be all the questions for this episode of the podcast, and I think that'll wrap it up for this episode of the podcast. Again, nothing has really happened in the TF2 community as far as I can tell. So, if anybody would like to update me on anything, if anything happens within the next couple of weeks, obviously I'm going to put that in March's issue of the podcast. But for now, February's episode is this. So, yeah. I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the podcast. And, I think I'm gonna call it off today. So, yeah.